With the release of Angular 10, the Angular team added the optional strict mode flagged for Angular developers to add to their project when they first spin up their Angular project. Essentially what this does is it enables strict mode in your TypeScript. That's the key point. The other being that you can now allocate bundle budget size, or bundle size budgets. So here's the game plan for this video. I've created 4 Angular apps. All 4 apps has the exact same amount of logic and CSS, which is to say no CSS at all. All of these apps have complete CRUD functionality, and they're all using NGRX to perform the CRUD functionality. Now, in the interest of fairness to these Angular versions, I am using the exact version, the same version of NGRX for all 4 applications. So starting with the upper left-hand corner, I have an Angular 10 app here that is not strict, okay? Angular 10 non-strict. And then I have an Angular 11 app, the same app, done in a different Angular version, Angular 11 in this case, that is non-strict, okay? Non-strict. And then I have an Angular 11 app that is strict. And then I have an Angular 12, 12.0.1, which is the latest version as of May 20th, like I said before, and it is in strict mode. Now, I will tell you that when I converted this 11 non-strict to 11 strict, there were 6 TypeScript issues that I had to fix before it will bill. Again, I am using NGRX on all 4, and I'll verify that in the browser. Before we verify NGRX in the browser, I want to make one more point. I did not allocate the size budget for any of the apps. I wanted to see the size of the bundle after bill organically, so I did not select this option here. Okay, now let's go verify the versions in the browser. I will test for performance in incognito mode, but for now, I need the Redux build tool here. So anyhow, so this is Angular 10 non-strict. There's your Redux, there's your state. 11 non-strict. Okay, let's verify the version. Okay, there it is. Redux. Okay, there's your state, action, div, etc. 11. Okay, there's your state. There is the version, and then 12. There's your state for NGRX, and then let's verify the version here. Oops. Okay, there's your version. One more thing about my methodology before we test out the performance in Chrome incognito tabs. So I am serving JSON data via JSON server. I have a separate process serving up the data that all 4 apps are consuming. And then for all 4 applications I've built, and I'm serving from the distribution folder after running the production build, the ng production build. Okay, so let's start with Angular 10 non-strict. I'm going to refresh this a few times to get the best times. Okay, there are your vital stats. I have already run the lighthouse because I'm not going to make you sit through every when I run this. Okay, there's your numbers. Okay, let me go back. Now for Angular 11 strict mode. Right off the bat, you can see that there's less requests and the bundle size is smaller. Let me do one more to get the best times. Okay, there's your lighthouse number. One thing I will note though is that if you watch my if you watch my React 17 versus Vue 3 video, I had to consciously put effort into making those two apps accessible via the Section 508 compliance in the United States for accessibility for the visually impaired. I did not have to do that with these Angular projects. It just come out of the box like that for me already. Okay, and so I think that's part of the reason why Angular is so big. All right. So let's go to the next app here. Let me make that smaller. Okay, for Angular 11 strict, do some hard refreshes here. Okay, and let's go to Lighthouse. Interesting that the total blocking time went up even though it's the exact same app. Okay, so there you have that. And now for Angular 12, which is, as of this recording, the latest version of Angular released to the general public. Now, if you notice these polyfills here, so Angular 12 still has support for Internet Explorer 11. Okay, rumor has it that with Angular 13 they will drop support for Internet Explorer. So the vendor, the polyfills here is 12.9 KBs, which represent about 3% of the total package. Once they drop legacy browser, the polyfills size would probably be a little bit smaller. Okay, let's do one more time just for giggles. Okay, and look at the numbers. Okay, so there you have it. The reason why I demo with Angular 10 was because, let's face it, the Angular world moves kind of slow in terms of enterprise companies that are using Angular. There are still plenty of companies out there that are still on Angular 7. But if you're still on Angular 7 or 8 and you're trying to figure out if it would be worth it to update to Angular 10 or 11 or 12, because I know that some big companies, they update incrementally. They're not comfortable with the latest version, so I just want to make this video to hopefully help developers decide, or management decide what they want to do. Let's just face it, there's a lot of boilerplate with Angular, right? I mean, doing Angular development is like doing C++ development. So like the front-end moral equivalent thereof, right? Okay, so I'll leave the judgment up to you guys and ladies. So again, for all of you subscribers, thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. If you're not a subscriber yet, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much. See you next time.